So almost a year ago I made a video, in fact 2 of them, explaining on the only characters that you really need on your account. Now it's time for the update video. Not only because lots of things have changed ever since then, but also to make up for my mistakes. I mean, at that time I was still learning about the game. I included characters like Noel or Hazel. I mean, come on now. So let me just do one video now that will include 4 stars and 5 stars and show the actual character that you really need. I want to start off with Furina and Nuvolet, literally the 2 characters that are best for their roles and ironically both related to each other in story, design and by how well they work together. These 2 still rule the game. I mean, Nuvolet is without doubt still the best main DPS in the game and Furina is the best sub DPS, yet support in the game as well. And they were designed to work together and be together in the story. So I'm not gonna say too much about them, other than if you are a meta player, get these 2. They are seriously broken. Next up I want to talk about his Zhongli, and the reason why you need him is because he's the best shielder in the game and he will protect you from anything and will simply have a much easier time clearing content. Even if you think that you do need him because you can dodge, I will still recommend you this guy, as it's always good to have a shielder by your side. Another very good Geo character that is worth having on your account and just recently came out is Shilonen. She is a pretty broken support who works in many teams and simply debuffs the enemies, even working greatly in Nuvolet teams. Another character that also works very well in many teams, including Nuvolet and Furina, is still the best Anemo character in the game, Kazuha. I mean, he gathers the enemies together, buffs the team and provides you with some good swirl reactions. Overall, Kazuha is literally a perfect Anemo character. He has everything that an Anemo character needs in his kit. Next up I want to talk about is Nahida, and she's even till this day the best danger character and will probably remain like this forever. She provides you with huge buffs, then marks and applies danger application to multiple enemies, and overall pretty much every danger team needs her. So if you play in danger teams and don't have her yet, get her as she will make your life easier. Now for the second main DPS, I would choose Izelhatan, as he is another broken main DPS alongside Nuvolet, as he is a danger character. He works super well in danger teams, therefore if you play danger teams and want a main DPS, get this guy. Now onto the 4 stars, as I'm already talking about danger teams, I will have to mention Kuki Shinobu next. Kuki is a broken Electro character who works perfectly in danger teams. I mean, she applies Electro all around your active character and even heals, meaning that she is a healer and also the one who triggers Electro reactions, such as Hyper Bloom. Next 4 star I gotta mention is Bennett, and just like Kuki, he heals and actually super fast. Not only that, but also buffs your party members' attack by a lot. And at C1 he's even better as he has no HP restriction on his burst, therefore he can heal and buff your characters at the same time. I also have to mention that you should not C6 him, unless you want to infuse him with Pyro, which will work really well with Pyro main DPS characters such as Hu Tao and Diluc, at the cost of limiting him on teams. But even if you want that, I still should recommend you to not do it, as there is a chance that one day there will be a character whose kit will be based on Pyro Infusion, just like Chongyun is for Cryo Infusion and Candace is for Hydro Infusion, so I won't risk activating C6 on Bennett. Now next up I want to talk about is Shangling, and she is a broken Pyro sub DPS. Basically she creates this Pyronator that spins around your active character, in short destroying everything. And the best part is that she is for free, so you can build her without needing to spend any Primo Gems. Last but not least is Chinchu, who is a broken 4-star Hydro applicator. As Hydro is such a broken element, it's always good to have at least 2 Hydro applicators. Chinchu alongside Furina, as he is a 4-star that provides a broken damage. Now those are all the characters that you really need on your account. Now it's time to create 2 teams out of those 11 characters. So for the first half I'm gonna choose a Nuvolet team. This team will definitely have Furina, as I mentioned before. They are designed to work together. In case you all know on why are these 2 so good together, is because Furina gives more buff when her character heals yet takes more damage, and Nuvolet does exactly that with his charge attacking. In a third slot I would say Shilonen, as her debuffs help a lot and also she can heal throughout her burst, making her work perfectly with Furina. In the last slot I would say Kazuha as his boss and crowd control also help a lot. However, if you are having trouble dodging, then you might want to replace someone like Kazuha with Zhongli, otherwise it will keep interrupting your numerous charge attacks. But yeah, you have created yourself a broken team that can deal overpowered amount of damage. Next up in the second half, as I chose Alhaitham as the second main DPS, he's going to be a main DPS in this team. Now I've already used 5 units in my previous team and can't use them in this team. So for sub DPS and support characters, I'll choose Kuki Shinobu, who will function as a healer and will trigger Hyper Bloom. Next up is Chinchu, who works perfectly with Alhaitham, as together with Hydro and Danger reactions they create Danger cores, so Kuki can pop them. Last but not least is Nahida, who basically provides additional danger damage and huge elemental mastery buff. With that, you have created yourself another overpowered team. This leaves out Xiangling and Bennett, although I didn't involve them in any of the two teams, it's still worth building them and having them by your side, as these two 4 stars are still the best and most useful pyro characters even till this day. Either way, I hope this video helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions or if I missed any of the characters and what would you change. Thanks for clicking on this video and paying attention to it, and I will see you all in my next one.